How's it going, everybody? My name is. Wow, okay, I messed up my intro. It hasn't even been 5 seconds. Whatever, I'm gonna keep that in. My name is Infamous Isaac, and I'm here with a video on Overwatch 1 competitive, right? And I actually wasn't going to upload today, but. Oh, actually, I was going to upload something else, but it's not ready in time, so I went to play some competitive, and I got this game. And this game, it's a difficult one to talk about, but I'm still gonna try to talk about it because, man, if the title doesn't give it away, this is some robbery, some fraud watch, actually crazy. But yeah, so I got this game while playing some competitive. I was trying to get some flex tickets so I could play DPS to get that up since to say the least, my my ring could be looking a little better. I'm not gonna lie to you, big dog. But yeah, so my rank is the greatest. But I went in here again, the flex tickets, and I played like three three. I think I want to say 3 to 4, but nah, it was definitely 3 games. And this was the last one that I was able to play before I went to go play some Fortnite with some friends because Dragon Ball Dragon Ball Z is coming to Fortnite with Goku, Beerus, Bulma, and Vegeta. So that's gonna be crazy. Now Naruto and Dragon Ball Z are both in there, so that's fire. But yeah, anyways, I said wrong game. And this game, right? This game specifically. So, um, it's difficult because we haven't gotten to that part yet. But right now, we're doing pretty decent. Again, I oh not again. I actually haven't said this yet, but I play Diva, right? Diva is by no means or any stretch of the imagination of a difficult character to like, let's say, Ana or Genji or people like that. Like Diva is meant to be a beginner character, and that's why a lot of people play her, and that's just a given. But I always find a Diva fun because of the fact that even though she's simple, there's so much you can do with the Diva Bomb, like in the ways that you can throw it or use it. Like there, there's a little bit of a skill curve. I always like to think like to throwing that Diva Bomb because you don't just throw it directly where they can see you, or you don't just throw it straight like on the ground, let it glide on the ground in front of a tank. You just because that's not gonna work. It's gonna get blocked if there's a shield tank or if there's like any not foliage, but any areas blocking the the people. They can hide behind it and evade your bomb basically. So there is some skill to that, but overall she's an easy and fun character, and she was one of the first people like I played when I started this game, where I like, oh, I got 50 kills with her, or oh, I got my first quad with her, and it was fun, you know, like I got genuine enjoyment from playing Diva in competitive. Like Diva, if I had to compare it, she's like a Moira for me, but for tank. She's easy, fun, and I can just have a good time with her if I'm playing her in that situation. But here, you know, as you start to notice, like, we're struggling a lot, right? And I like you would think, oh, let's switch, see what's going on. But I was confident enough to be like, nah, I feel like I'm doing good enough to stay on this role to like to justify it. There you go. But one thing I actually do want to talk about is that thing, like justifying you being on the character. So me, I have my own rule about it. Like, it not towards other people, but towards myself. Like, I would rather play a character that I know I'm good at than play somebody that fits the situation. And obviously that depends on the situation and how flexible you are as a player, because if you can play any character and if it's the need, you're great. Like you're actually one of the best players ever because you're good at everything. And while there's players that are great at something, you know, being able to fit the need would win you more games if like if you're able to. But here's how I look at it, right? I would rather be good at that one thing because if I'm like if I'm that good at something or that great at something, I'll be able to make the difference between the two, right? Because let's say like in terms of sport, like having five players on a basketball team and they're all good players, you would win a lot. You would win a decent to a good amount of games, like let's say 50 games. But if you have like okay players and a really good basketball player, you may not win a lot, but that one basketball player that's really really good, like Michael Jordan good, can be the difference maker between that. And here we're not trying to win a finals game. We're just playing Overwatch. So I'm gonna play Diva because I know, or not I know, more like I'm confident enough to use her here in competitive in the first place. And I feel like I'm doing good enough with her, except for here. Here I actually got put on fraud watch because I looked like a straight bozo. I couldn't kill a Zarya who was below half health, especially with two lives. So, you know, this wasn't a good moment. This is a lapse in judgment. But, like, I would rather, again, just be using a character that I know I'm good with, if not like better than most characters that I could play or any of the rest of the roster when I use them, than just play a character that I don't know how to play but would fit the situation. Like Mercy, easy character to play. I think she's the exception. But every other character is like, oh, pick Winston or pick Reinhardt. It's like, yeah, but I could just pick Orisa because I know I'm better with her. Or I could pick Diva, even though Winston, like, there's no way to fill his niche. You know, like, I would rather pick those characters because I know, like, I would be more, or I would at least try to be more helpful with them than I would be with the other characters. Because if I'm not good with those characters, or I'm trying to fill that need, then I'm just more of a detriment, if anything. I'm only being, or I'm bringing my team down in a detrimental way, and that's not that. That's the opposite of what's supposed to happen. That's counter, or not counterintuitive, but counterproductive. There you go. So it's like that's how I've always approached that situation when it's like somebody in chat's like, "Oh, switch to what's it called?" And or when a friend of mine's like, "Yo, switch to this character." It's like when it's so random, it's like, okay, pride comes into it as well because you know it's that toxic FPS mindset where it's like you're a random talking to me to tell me to switch when I could tell you that every second of the game, because it's that, oh, I'm better than everybody in this lobby mindset, which is toxic, and I don't think that. I don't know if I'm better than anybody in this mindset because it's hard to prove that. Only way to prove that, I guess, is by the end of the game, and even then, I don't care. Because if somebody's better than me, I'll find that out through multiple experiences with it, or just like how high they are and how good their gameplay is, like in a footage standpoint, right? Or rank. But if it's just a random in my game, I'm not gonna take their opinion too seriously because if I'm doing good in my position with the character that I'm using, I'm not gonna take any stock into their words because why would I? I'm doing good enough to help my team, and I'm doing good enough to validate my own sense of like I am helping my team, like validate that opinion. So I wouldn't put too much stock in it. And if it's my friends, you know, like I would put more stock into it, but it just depends on how it's phrased, right? How it's phrased and how it's mentioned. Because if it's somebody telling me like, "Yo, switch off of that character, you're garbage," like in a toxic way, like, oh, then no, I'm not gonna do that. I don't care. Like, if you think I'm garbage with the character, then you shouldn't have played with me in the first place, right? Because if we're friends, like, then you wouldn't play with me if you did care about that. And if you didn't, then you know, cool, we can just keep going. I'll try to get better, and so will you. That's just how things are in progression. But if they say like I'm doing garbage, but I know I'm not doing garbage, then I was like, all right, whatever. It's just another part of the team, which is also an important thing, right? Blaming blaming your team when you're losing, and not like as a whole, right? Because as much as I look at that, I'm looking at it at the individual standpoint, right? But as a whole, it's always it's always a team. It's why it's a team game. It's always the team. Like, okay, your healers aren't able to heal as much as they should to, or they should be able to, so you're dying because of that. But why are they not able to heal? Is it because maybe they're getting flanked by a DPS and then our DPS on our team aren't taking care of that? why aren't they taking care of that? Maybe it's because the tanks are in the front line and the tanks aren't doing their job to help like block damage or to deal with the tanks on their own side. So it's like it's not just one problem explains everything. It's multiple problems turn into a bigger problem which leads to us losing. It's snowballing the problems until we lose. In this game, I don't know what the problem was, to be honest with you, because we switched, we met the needs, but I guess we just couldn't contend with them. Like, to be honest, maybe they were just a better team. I don't know, because I I was happy with the way I performed in terms of like the stats, but in terms of like the gameplay, I could have been better. I could excuse me, I could have had more awareness, where my teammates were, where the enemies were, how I was fighting when and what to do. Because like calling down my mech there, even though I just got it, I shouldn't have. Like it was a desperation thing instead of an actual calculated thing. Like so, I could have done better. Yeah, I'm not saying I did the greatest I ever could, but I did good enough to be passable. My team, I don't know what they did, and I'm not saying that in like a disrespectful or toxic way. I just don't know what happened. Because to me, the whole game, my team was doing great. If not, they were doing just fine. Like, I got a triple here, and we push in and we get the point, but I don't know how we lost the point, is the problem. And I'm not gonna blame my team for that because why would I? Blaming my team is only trying to provide an answer in my own brain, it's trying to rationalize an answer, but it's not an actual answer. It's just me blaming people because I don't know what the answer is. And obviously, sometimes it can just be people. And that's understandable, like whatever. But then it's just a point of not being toxic about it, right? Because if let's say like your healers aren't healing, but you're trying your best to block the damage and take care of the flanks, it's like okay, then what's happening? Why aren't they healing? Maybe it's because the Moira wants to go DPS Moira, or Ana just wants to kill the flanks, but maybe she doesn't have the aim for it. So it's just stuff like that, stuff that you can't really control. You don't know who you're gonna get in the lobby. That's just a roll of the dice that you get every time you go into a game. Just like how my teammates can get me, and I could be on a very bad streak, like today, how I lost 3 games in a row, all the games that I played, or I could get teammates who are amazing, who are really good, and that's just the way it is. And this is all what I've learned from competitive. It's just playing this. Like, as much as I don't like playing this game mode, I've had amazing times here. Like playing Diva and just getting bombs after bomb after bomb. It's so much fun. I love doing that. But then we lost like this right here. This is some fraud wash. I blame Blizzard wholeheartedly because I was still on the point, but because there's a little divot in the point, I slipped onto it and the overtime ended immediately because I was on a little divot that didn't count as the point. But why didn't the whole point count as the point? That oh my gosh, bro, that still gets me so frustrated because I got robbed from stalling on the point. I didn't die to lose the match. I got pushed off of the little square that counts as the point. It's actual fraud watch. But anyways, the video the video ended a while ago, so I'm just gonna end it here for now. Thank you all for watching as always. Hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more stuff to come on the channel. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day. I've been Infamous Isaac, and I'll see you all later. Peace.